This week, we are discussing Fear Street Part 1, 1994. This is the first in a trilogy available on Netflix based on R.L. Stein.
Yes.
I always want to say Steen, but it's Stein. R.L. Stein's books. Welcome to But I'm a Lesbian, the podcast where we serve all baddie sass, queer film reviews, and everything in between. Whether you're a baby, gay, or a queer elder, we're here, we're queer, and we're diving deep into all things lesbian. Get ready for some sapphic serotonin. So, if you're listening, you can't see this. But if you are watching on YouTube, you can see Angelina is not here today. Instead, we have a very special guest co-host. She is our creative director, our video editor, the most beautiful person that I've ever known, my wife, Juanita Iriarte.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! Thanks for being on our episode, baby.
I thought it was really great that you invited me, especially that this is a Halloween episode that we're doing.
She loves Halloween.
Thank you for that. And also,
Yeah.
if people didn't know, the first date that we went on, or movie date that we went on, was to go watch a scary movie.
Yeah, and it starred Elizabeth Olsen, who is somehow kind of become like a lesbian icon, even though she's straight. I just feel like a lot of lesbians post about having crushes on her.
I didn't know that.
Oh, a lot of the really young lesbians will post on TikTok like, I have mommy issues. She's literally our age, you know? They're like, Elizabeth Olsen's such a MILF, you know? But anyway, people post about her a lot. She is very beautiful, but the movie was not that good, and we were the only people in the whole theater, so I was kind of scared.
I don't even remember the name of the movie that we saw.
No, it was something about a house. It was like, It was very much like, it was a horror movie, but the real horror was like her childhood abuse. And so it was like very like deep meaning, not like a slasher like we really like.
Yeah.
And that was what we thought it was more. But anyway, yes. So also another thing, we love scary movies, both of us. Our anniversary is in October. So spooky season is our favorite.
Do you want to tell everybody what we're dressed as?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, another reason that we love Halloween, or I love this part about Halloween, and I think you do too, is getting dressed up. So we decided that for these 3 Halloween-ish October episodes, we're going to wear costumes. So if you're on YouTube, you can see us. If you are not on YouTube, I'm going to post an OOTD on TikTok, so follow us there. But we are dressed as the main characters from the classic 1999 film, The Mummy. So my baby is Rick O'Connell. That's Brendan Fraser's character. And I am a librarian. I am Evelyn. So I think we did like a pretty good job. So you got to check it out. If you are only listening, you got to look at our outfits. But we love The Mummy. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like The Mummy? It's another thing I've seen so many people post about, like, when I realized I was bisexual as a child watching The Mummy, because everyone is hot.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what? Everyone is so good looking.
I didn't know if I had a crush on Brendan Fraser, if I wanted to be him because he was with Evelyn's character.
Yeah, and you still love Rachel Weisz.
I do.
Rachel Weisz.
I do.
Which she is in a lot of lesbian movies.
She is.
And yeah, we are going to do one. You're not on that episode, but we recently watched this movie again because in Disobedience, Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams are like a couple, whatever. They have a sex scene. I think Rachel McAdams spits in Rachel Weisz's mouth.
Yeah.
It's a famous scene. So she didn't remember it. So I was like, we have to rewatch it just so we can watch that scene. And she was like, oh my God, I blocked it out. Anyway, so that's what happened. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your favorite horror movies, since this is a sapphic horror trilogy that we're starting. So this is the first episode. There's 2 more parts.
Yes.
And I specifically wanted you to be on these because of the love of spooky things. What is your favorite horror movie?
Okay, so I can't do favorites without giving a top 3 or top 5. So I'm just going to give you a quick top 5. Hopefully you can see if you like that or not. So top 5, they are mainly slashers. In no particular order. I like all the Halloween franchises, John Carpenter and Rob Zombie as well. I like Scream. I like Chucky. I like I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I like all the Saw films. So
Yes. I like all of those too. I remember we did like a Saw marathon one time.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But I know you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna answer mine. I love it. And I feel like it's a little problematic because apparently in the book there's like a lot of weird sex stuff with like the kids having like an orgy.
Yeah.
But they didn't put that in the movies. Either version of the movies, like the 1990 version or the 2017 versions.
No.
Which is good because it probably wouldn't be in theaters if they did that. They'd be like, why are all these 12-year-olds having like an orgy?
Right.
That's fucking weird. Stephen King is weird. But I really like it. I love Pennywise and this creepy clownness. And I love the idea of like them being kids and then coming like back as adults. I don't know. I love that. It's also one of my favorite movies of all time is Now and Then, which is not a scary movie, but it's similar vibe because they were all kids and then you see them as adults. And I love that. I just wish I had friends that I'm still friends with from when I was a kid. So I think I like lived through that. Like I live vicariously through it. Do you have a favorite final girl?
Yeah, I have a couple. I'll probably just say Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
In both the John Carpenter and the Rob Zombie films.
Yeah.
So Jamie Lee Curtis and Scout Taylor Compton.
You named your dog after Scout Taylor Compton.
I did. Yeah, I went through
You're like, anyway. She's so pretty.
The other one I would say is Sydney from Scream.
Yeah, Sydney Prescott.
Yes.
I got you a shirt with her on it.
Yes.
Because I know you love her.
Yeah. Okay. And then Julie from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we recently watched the new one.
I was disappointed, but
I don't know, it was fine. And she was in it.
She was.
That was pretty cool.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, they went an interesting route now that I think of it, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that's going to watch it. So, yeah, let's move on to talking about this scary movie. Do you have a hot take or a burning desire, like anything you're desperate to share about Fear Street Part 1?
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
I would say that I really loved it overall as a film. I just wish that the little details were more authentic to the 90s. Like I kind of picked up on like the shoes that people were wearing. I'm like,
nobody would wear that.
I feel like anybody wore that in the 90s, and I would know because I lived in the 90s. So
yeah, even though we were very young.
Yeah, but it was very glaringly obvious. So that's one thing that I was nitpicking, was that I wish that they were more detail-oriented when it came to the 90s things.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't as bad as we watched this show called Cruel Summer, and it was supposed to be in the 90s, but they had hip peas everywhere, you know, those chips. Like pea chips. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Nobody had those in the 90s. Like, so anyway, I agree with you. I think they did like a sort of good job. They did better. And I was proud. I mean, they weren't in the era yet of the bad wigs that Netflix movies like to do. Currently, every time there's a new Netflix show or movie, it's like somebody has a really bad wig. Like The Hunting Wives, that was like, oh, lesbians were going crazy over it. Whatever, it was fine. But all the wigs were like really bad. They were like distracting.
It's because they didn't hire your friend, Kristen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my friend Kristen, who is the closest to a friend from like growing up, you know, I knew her in high school. I met her because people thought we were each other. Like, they were like, oh, I thought you were this girl, Kristen, that I know. And they would tell her, like, you look just like this girl, Katlynn. I don't think we actually look alike. We don't really see that. But we're both, like, white and not super skinny and, like, kind of in, like, the alternative scene. So I guess they were like, oh, they look the same. But anyway, she does hair. And she did hair on 13 Reasons Why. Mm-hmm. So that was like a big Netflix show that she did. I don't know that she's done any Netflix ones recently, but she's in the Bay Area. So when something's filming in the Bay Area, she usually gets to do it, I feel.
Yeah, she did Freaky Tales.
Yeah, she did Freaky Tales, which if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Pedro Pascal is in it, as I mentioned on an earlier episode. my wife loves Pedro Pascal,
Love
so
him.
we had to watch it. But also I was like, oh my God, you met Pedro? And she's like, yeah, he was nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, so cool. So I don't really have a hot take exactly. I just was really confused about this. So if anybody can explain it in the comments, let me know. When they were like on the bus and they like threw the cooler thing out, who was driving the bus? Like, was there an adult driving the bus? Because it seemed like they were being really crazy before that, and then they opened the thing, and then whoever was driving the bus stopped it because they went down into the woods to like check on them. And I was like, who the fuck was driving this bus? And they were just letting them be crazy.
I think they were just trying to tell us that the 90s were like a weird different time.
That's true.
A little less supervised.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. It was just weird. So that's my thoughts on that.
I like that that's your hot take.
Yeah, well, I thought it the first time I watched it, and I thought it again this time, okay? I was like, who the fuck is driving this? Okay, so we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we get back, we'll get into the recap. So get all bundled up and prepared to be scared, because this one's a little spooky. Welcome back to But I'm a Lesbian. This week, we are discussing Fear Street Part 1, 1994. This is the first in a trilogy available on Netflix based on R.L. Stine?
Yes.
I always want to say Steen, but it's Stine. R.L. Stine's books, which you were a fan of.
I really loved Goosebumps, yeah.
Yeah,
and
I was scared.
I read some of the Fear Street ones, and they're pretty cool, too.
I just really like that they made it gay. I don't know that the books were gay. I don't know.
I think that they had some themes, but they weren't explicitly.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to go into the recap. So, we open on Maya Hawke, whose character is named Heather, but she's Maya Hawke in my heart. She's ringing up a rude customer at a bookstore that's in the mall. So she works at the mall at a bookstore. I think it was like B. Dalton Booksellers, something like that, because I remember those stores at the mall. And I was like, they did a good job of making it 90s in that they like also have like a Spencer's Gifts. Like,
right.
I don't know. Anyway, so once the store is closed, she gets a call at the store, and it ends up being a boy, Ryan, that works at another store in the mall.
Right.
And then the line goes dead. And so she goes out to look for him because she's like, did something happen? Blah, blah, blah. And when she goes out into like the main area of the mall, it's like all dark. And I don't know, because I've never worked at a mall, and I don't know if this is another like, they're just saying it was different in the 90s. But it seems like if any of the stores still have people in them, the main lights should still be on. And then the last person leaving should turn off the lights, because it seems like unsafe.
Really unsafe, yeah.
Dark and scary and weird.
Yes.
And so Ryan comes up behind her and scares her with a blow-up doll, which is weird. Men are gross. And then Maya / Heather. Heather says she needs a ride home, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll give you a ride. And so then she's like, okay, I have to finish up at the store. So she goes back into her store to finish like closing up, whatever. She goes to close the metal like gate thing. Like, you know how like at storefronts, they have a thing that comes down like a garage door type of thing. You pull it and like locks at the bottom.
Right.
But something that I think is important for later is it's like it gets stuck. So it doesn't close all the way. So there's like a little gap. So anyway, she's like, whatever, I guess it's broken. And then we see like kind of typical horror movie trope, like a book falls, she goes to pick it up, and we see somebody like run behind her, like a like cloaked person. So we're like, oh my God, be safe, you know, like, and then eventually that masked cloaked person confronts her and tries to stab her. But she gets out and she runs into Ryan's store, which is like a Spencer's type of store. And she calls 911 on the phone at the store, whatever. Yeah. But she has to hide before she can really say anything, like, because the masked killer comes in and is chasing her. So then like a fight ensues. There's a chase scene in the dark, creepy mall. Eventually the murderer does get to her and stabs her. And as she's like dying, she pulls off his mask and we see that it's Ryan, her creepy blow-up doll friend. Well, he's not a blow-up doll, but he likes the blow-up dolls. Whatever. And like basically we see his face and then he gets shot in the head. Like a cop
Right.
did come because of the 911 and shoots him. So he is dead. And then the opening credits happen.
Yeah.
And I love that because I was like, whoa, we got like sucked in. I didn't even realize that it hadn't like officially started. Did that remind you of anything else? Like any other movies?
Like right away, the creepy phone call, and then her being very famous gave me Scream vibes because that's kind of what they did with the first Scream. They had Drew Barrymore. She was on the poster of the movies, and you're like, oh, she's going to be this big integral character. And then they killed her off within like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was very much this. So I was really excited about that, to see that they had like a Scream reference in this movie.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool.
That's true. When we were talking about this before, I was like, yeah, and they're both blonde. Maya Hawke is not that blonde in this movie.
No.
Her hair is like light, medium brown. So anyway, I also have seen a lot online of people that were like born with blonde hair that think they're still blonde, and this whole like argument of that, because I was like that. So I guess in my mind, I was like, she's still blonde. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, point being, she wasn't blonde. But Drew Barrymore was super blonde in the Scream movie.
Yes.
Okay, so the opening credits happened.
Yeah.
And now we get into like the actual main story of the movie, basically. Like they were kind of setting this up. It does connect, you know, but like we meet the main characters.
Yeah.
So we see Dina in her room. Dina is like the main character. She is very beautiful. I'm gonna tell you that she is like our age. So she was already like 27 when this movie came out, even though she's playing like a senior or whatever in high school. So she's writing a note to Sam, but we don't obviously know who Sam is yet. The note says, "Dear Sam, go fuck yourself." So we're like, oh, Sam, she's mad at Sam,
she did something
whoever
really
Sam
bad.
is. Yeah. And it appears that this is the day after that mall murder, because she like walks into the living room and here's the news. The news is on, and they're saying 8 people died at the mall, including the killer. The killer was shot, blah, blah, blah. And then we see her brother Josh is on the computer, and he's like in a chat room talking to people from the town about all the weird murders that have happened in that town. And the town is called Shadyside, and it's like it's a little heavy on this town is called Shadyside and it is bad. And then the other town is called Sunnyvale and it is good. You know, like it's like sun good, shade bad, you know. Anyway, so apparently Shadyside has had a lot of shady things happen, is what they're trying to tell us. And I was confused because I didn't know that chat rooms were a thing in 1994, but I looked it up and they were. So that's good to know. I didn't know about chat rooms, but that's because I was 4. But I remember my mom going on chat rooms in like 1997. She went on like weird sexual chat rooms because I could see the pictures. It was like a man licking a woman's leg, but it was not like real. It was like animated.
Why were you allowed to be in that room?
Like we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and the computer was in the living room. It was like a big desktop computer, and she'd be like, "Oh, I have to go talk to blah blah blah." Like she had like online boyfriends that she would talk to.
What an interesting person.
I mean, and then however many years later, I started talking to old men in chat rooms, and I was like, "You want to cyber?" I was cyber sexing with them. I obviously, when they said ASL, I said I was 18.
What is ASL?
Age, sex, location.
You were telling them where you lived?
Well, I would just say California.
Okay.
I would be like 18, female, California. People say I look like Hillary Duff. Like, I would just pick whoever I thought was the prettiest girl. That's so weird.
Well.
Anyway, apparently you weren't doing that.
We live different childhoods.
Yeah. You're like, what? Okay, so anyway, he was not doing that in the chat room, but he was actually doing, I don't know, smart things, trying to figure out murders and stuff. And he talks to this girl called like Queen of Darkness. That seems to be like his main friend on there. Yeah, but I don't think they know each other in real life.
I also want to kind of preface that like he is in a basement and he's got all these like, I feel like they're trying to tell us that he's kind of nerdy. So he's very into research.
Well, yeah, he's on a computer in the early 90s. I feel like that was like, oh, nerds, computers. Yeah. And then anyway, so they're talking in the chat room and they're like, you know what? all of this stuff that has happened, including these most recent murders, they all have to do with Sarah Fear, the witch from the 1600s. And it's like a curse and whatever. He's like really into it. And so are the other people in there. But then he tries to tell Dina about it and explain his whole theory. And she doesn't want to listen because I feel like she's like, whatever, like you're weird. And also I'm sad about my breakup or whatever happened. And she's like, we have to go to school. So they go to school. Dina sees Heather's locker. Once again, Heather was Maya Hawke's character. And so it has all these like, pictures of her and like RIP on it. And then her friends, Kate and Simon, are telling her like, yeah, it's because of Sarah Fear. It's the curse, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you guys are so annoying. And she's like, Kate, will you just give this to Sam? And tries to give Sam like this box of, or tries to give Kate this box of stuff to give to Sam.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to be involved in your ex drama. So this confirms that it's an ex. I mean, we kind of figured from the go fuck yourself, and now we know for sure. And we also find out some more about Kate. We find out that she is dealing drugs and she is a cheerleader. And
allegedly.
She is selling drugs, though.
She is an entrepreneur, okay?
Yeah, she's got to do what she's got to do. She's also the valedictorian, so she's got a lot going on.
She's got like 2 full-time jobs.
Yes, and I think at some point they talk about how she's like, I just want to get out of Shadyside.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing whatever I can. I have to get the good grades and have the extracurriculars and also get extra money from doing whatever I have to do so that I can get out of this town. Exactly. So it's like not seen as like a nice place to live, I guess. And so then we see Dina getting on the bus to go to a game. So they have like a football game, but it also turns into kind of like a vigil for the people that died at the mall.
Right.
And it's in Sunnyvale. So this is like, they're like neighboring towns in the same county that are like kind of opposite. And
it's like Eagleton and Pawnee.
Yes, if you watch Parks and Rec, yeah. It so is because Eagleton is like very like fancy, like we don't even like we're so above the Pawnee people. That's how the Sunnyvale people are. And so they go to Sunnyvale. You see as they're like going in the bus, you see that like the houses start getting really fancy and nice, and also like the lighting like it gets like sunnier. Sunnyvale, and so we're like, oh, okay, this is really fancy. And then at the game, Dina sees Sam, and this is when we find out that Sam is a girl, because I feel like they purposely gave her like a gender neutral name, so you might be like, it's just a boy. Like,
right. Yeah. And they were trying to be sneaky, like the way that they panned the camera over to see it was a girl and a boy. It was like a cheerleader and a football player. So you're like, which one is Sam?
Yeah.
So it was the girl. It was not the boy.
Yeah. Yes. And so she sees her, but she's with her boyfriend, her new boyfriend. And so Dina is like being sad and emo. And then she like kind of storms off or whatever.
Yeah.
And
as she should.
Yeah. And Sam kind of like follows her. She goes to go talk to her alone. And Dina's like, here's this box with all of our memories. Like, I came to bring this to you or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's very tropey too, because I feel like it's giving like, if you want your sweatshirt, you have to come to my house and get it. Come get your sweatshirt, or like whatever other people do.
There was that meme that was like when somebody really wants to see you again, and they're like, "You left this at my house," and it's like a bobby pin, like it's all like broken.
Yeah, it was giving that.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, Dina still loves her and is very hurt. And then they're kind of like the camera is like going between scenes, like it's going to them talking like separately, and then to the like vigil thing that's happening after or before the game. I don't know. I don't fucking care about sports.
She didn't even realize that they were playing a game. She's like, I don't know why they were there.
I thought they were just there for a vigil, and she's like, they're all wearing their or what is it called? Their uniforms?
Their uniforms.
They're in their costumes, okay? Yeah. And so anyway, we see like at the vigil, the mayor and the sheriff are both like giving talks on like this pedestal, and we find out that the mayor and the sheriff are brothers. So I'm like, oh, okay, they're like fancy, and they talk about like their family having a long history in the town. So I'm like, okay, that's probably important for later. I don't know. And so then oh yeah, I just said I don't trust them. Then we go back to Dina and Sam. They're arguing because Sam is like, I had to move to Sunnyvale because my parents got divorced. And Dina's like, whatever, like you were afraid to tell anyone about us even when you lived in Shadyside. and we were together.
Right.
Like, I feel like Dina is like not wanting to be in the closet, and Sam is. And so she's like, my boyfriend's name is Peter. I don't know how it came up, but I just want you to know that if I ever talk about
because
Peter,
I think Dina said something like that guy with the stupid face or like
yeah,
whatever that guy's name is, and she's like, his name is Peter.
Oh, he's a loser. And so then we see the vigil thing, and it breaks out into a fight between the two schools' football players.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Well, like
fighting?
It was incredibly noticeable how most of the Sunnyvale or Sunnyside?
Sunnyvale.
Okay, I kept calling it Sunnyside. Anyway,
That's okay.
Most of their players were white.
Yeah.
And then most of the players on the other team on Shadyside were like either mixed race, they were black, or they were Hispanic. But I thought that they did a great job of showing that contrast with like the whole, Sunnyvale thinks that they're much better, and it's like obviously, it's messed up, and it's like pretty racist because Shadyside has the majority of like other people that aren't white.
Yeah, and a big part of the reason that they got in the fight, the football players got in the fight, was because they were like, this is like sad that this happened, and they're like, whatever, it's just another like stupid thing that happens in Shadyside. Everybody is violent and trashy there, and like they're just like being assholes and judging Shadyside, and it speaks to like obviously like real life, right? Like I think of how many times people, specifically often white people, will say things like, oh, that's like a bad part of town, or like, oh, you don't want to go over there, like that's dangerous. And I'm like, is it dangerous, or is there just not that many white people there? Are you just trying to find a way to like make your racism okay?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting.
Well, I really like the movie too because I feel like it was very obvious that there was a theme of like the writers wanted to show this like systemic oppression, and then also just like highlighting all of the marginalized groups. Dina being mixed race, being gay, being a woman, and then her brother, and then all of these other people. So I thought that the movie did a really great job with that.
It is true because we didn't really describe, if you haven't seen the movie, what the characters look like. But yeah, Dina is not white, and neither is her brother, and Sam is white. And Sam, I would say that Dina is also straight passing. They had her wearing like flannel, like we were, lesbian.
She's a lesbian,
and
obviously.
At some point, the boyfriend calls her bull dyke, and I was like, okay, he's just trying to hurt her feelings. But anyway, Sam is like a cheerleader, and she's apparently like pretty rich and white, and like whatever. So anyway, then on the bus back to Shadyside, Kate, the cheerleader valedictorian, is getting everybody excited. Like she's like basically giving them a pep talk to like be mad at the other school at Sunnyvale. She's like, we're going to kill them, blah, blah, blah. And while this is happening, Dina is like kind of sitting or laying in the one of the seats of the bus because she's being emo about Sam. And then she looks behind and she sees through the back of the bus like window thing, she sees a car coming behind, and it's like going really fast, and there's people wearing masks and throwing things at the bus. Mm-hmm. And so then you see Sam is in the passenger seat. So it's totally like Sam's stupid boyfriend and one of his friends and Sam. And so then they open the back door of the bus, and they're like, we're going to throw this giant ice keg thingy out. And I think it seemed like Dina was contemplating not doing it at some point. Like, I think Kate was like, oh, your nose is bleeding. And she was like, oh, what? And then they like let go of it. So it almost seemed like she had second thoughts of like, oh, fuck, I don't want to like do this. Anyway, they let it go. Yeah. The thing hits, and then the people veer off the road.
The thing hits the car.
Yes. And then they veer off the road and they go like down into the ditch of the woods or whatever.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, fuck, like these people, we could have just killed people. Like shit.
Oh, no.
And so whoever was driving the bus and not taking care of anything or keeping anything in order, like apparently stop the bus because they do go down there. So we like cut to seeing Sam getting out of the crashed car. Like she's like crawling out of the car, and her nose is bleeding, and she sees like a weird vision for a second, but you can't really like put together what it is. And then Dina comes down to save her, and then that's when the boyfriend is like, whatever, you bull dyke freak. And I'm like, whatever. He's just jealous, obviously, like you said. And Sam then starts throwing up blood. So we're like, oh shit, she's like even sicker than we thought. Like she got hurt worse than we thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we see like the sheriff interviewing Dina. So like that happened really fast. All of a sudden, the sheriffs and the ambulance people are there, whatever. The sheriff is interviewing Dina about the accident, and she is like, I don't know, the car just crashed. And he's like, you didn't throw anything at it? And she's like, no. And I'm like, obviously they're not gonna admit
they're
it.
Not gonna
they
snitch.
all are like, no, stitches get snitches. Snitches get stitches, girl. Like whatever. They were like, no. And then Peter comes out and acts all threatening to Dina and is like, all of you are fucking dead. He's such a loser. So anyway, then the next day we see like Josh waking Dina up and being like, Dad's gonna be so mad because of like the cops being involved, whatever. And then Dina sees on the news that the killer was identified as Ryan. And she looks like she kind of recognizes him. I don't know if she does recognize him because he's like around their age.
Yeah.
But she definitely notices who it is. And then she calls Sam's house to try to talk to her. And her mom is like, what, are you trying to ruin my daughter's life? Like everything about her life? And I was like, what a homophobic cunt. So then someone's ringing the doorbell and Dina opens it, but no one's there. And I don't know. Maybe it was different in the 90s, but we don't ever answer the door when someone rings it. I mean, unless we were expecting someone, we like be hiding.
I mean,
I'm not going to answer the door.
Even in the 90s, my parents were like, don't answer the door.
They're like, it might be Bible humpers.
If you're not expecting company, you don't need to answer the door.
Yes, true. But she answered the door and no one was there. And I'm like, this happens a lot in movies, I feel.
Yes.
Where they're like, oh, no one's out there. Ooh. And then she sees someone across the street and they're in like a creepy skeleton costume, like the costume that the murderer was wearing at the mall.
Right.
And she assumes that it's Peter because he said, you guys are fucking dead. So she like yells at him and then she closes the door and then she looks out the kitchen window and we see the person standing there with a knife.
Yep.
And she goes outside. It's like, she is fucking crazy. Like, she has no fear. But I get it, sort of, because she thinks it's Peter. Like, she's so convinced that it's Peter. And she's like, that skinny fucking guy. Like, what's he going to do? But I would be, oh, my God, he has a knife. I'm, like, scared, even if I thought it was Peter.
They were just trying to show us that she's a tough
She's very
lesbian.
brave. Oh, yeah. She is a bull dyke freak.
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck with her. No. Okay. So then we see that Kate and Simon are, like, babysitting in a house basically like across the street or like in the same area as Dina's house. And they are asking the kids to like help them with her entrepreneurial business. And then I thought this was interesting that like the babysitting house was close to the main character's house. Does that remind you of any other movies?
Yeah, Halloween. Where they were babysitting and then things started happening and then they had to quickly go.
Yeah, I always remember that part because I think that we saw the friend's boobs. Isn't that where she takes off her shirt? Isn't she?
Not when she's babysitting.
Well, not with the babies, but she's like doesn't she go do laundry and she's like talking to Jamie Lee Curtis on the phone and then she takes off her shirt. She like wasn't wearing a bra.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know. I remember seeing boobs. I don't think we see Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs ever, do we? But they're really big. So they're like noticeable all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Dina tells Kate about Peter being out there and fucking with them, like on the phone, I think. And then we see Kate and I wrote male friend, but I have now known his name is Simon, and I did introduce him earlier, but I didn't care about him earlier in here. I was like, male friend, sees the costumed person, the bad person in the house, in the kid's house.
Right.
And they're going through the laundry. And I was like, that's a weird thing to do. And Kate takes the kids to another neighbor's house and is like, can you watch them? And the neighbor is Mrs. Lane, who also is sort of connected later on. So just remember her, I guess. And so she and Simon go over to Dina's house and tell them what happened, and they all get in the car together. They're like, we're going to go to the hospital to like see Sam. And basically I think they want to go tell Sam like, have Peter leave us alone.
Yeah.
Like, your boyfriend is a fucking asshole, blah, blah, blah. And so they get to the hospital. At first, they're not allowed to go back, but they know this, like, nurse guy that I think helps with the entrepreneurial business. And so he takes Dina back to see Sam. And Dina is telling Sam, like, Peter broke in. He's stalking us, like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what are you talking about? He's been here the whole time. And then they're just, like, they're getting in this big fight because they have underlying issues. And so Sam is like, you're just going to grow up and be an alcoholic loser like your dad. And I'm like, whoa, what a bitch. And so then she's like, I never want to see you again. Like, Sam says that to Dina. And then Peter, like, comes in, and then he gets stabbed through the curtain. So it wasn't Peter, obviously, because someone just killed him. He got, like, stabbed, like, straight through, like, his, like, stomach. And then Sam and Dina are like, oh, fuck. So they, like, jump and, like, start running because they're like, shit.
Yeah.
And it's not funny, but it's a little funny because, like, they're running, and then the other kids, Simon and Josh and Kate, see them, and they're just like, run. So anyway, Simon and Kate end up deciding, like, to steal an ambulance because they're like, that'll be, like, our getaway car. Everybody can, like, fit in the ambulance. So they're, like, running to go steal an ambulance. And then
well, before that, they saw that all the nurses and, like, the doctors were also dead. So
that did happen.
So that also was very reminiscent of Halloween too, because the whole movie took place in a hospital.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. So then at some point the killer, like, gets Sam, and then Dina, like, obviously, like, helps her get away because she loves her, you know. And so then they get away. They go into the stolen ambulance.
Yeah.
And then we cut to seeing the sheriff at the jail. We see that he arrested the janitor from the mall. The janitor is a young black guy. So I feel like they're also showing us the racism that is happening because the janitor guy says something like, you know, I didn't do that or whatever. And so I feel like basically, yeah, he just, like, fucks with him because he has, like, what is that? Like, he has, like, a power.
Oh.
Yes, that. But also I think he's, like, very, like, I'm in control. I'm the sheriff.
Oh, he's on a power trip?
Yeah, that. And I don't know if he's a short man, but he kind of looks like a short man. So it's giving, like, short man syndrome. I don't know. Should I not say that?
Who is it? Are you talking about the
short
sheriff?
people? Yeah.
Yeah, he's fairly short.
I was like, he looks short.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's fair.
And so he's, like, on a power trip. He's jealous because the janitor is tall. Anyway, so then we see Dina and Sam trying to tell the sheriff's deputy guy what happened. He doesn't believe them. They're like, we need to talk to the actual sheriff. He also doesn't believe them because they're like, you know, somebody's killing people at the hospital, blah, blah, blah. But the most important part is that Dina saw the person, like, take their mask off, and it was Ryan, who literally we saw get shot in the fucking head and has been reported as dead.
Yeah.
So how is he doing that? So she tells the sheriff that, and he's like, okay. He's like, the sheriff's deputy says something like, oh, just go get your boyfriends and, like, you'll be fine.
And go relax.
It's like, ew. So, like, sexism and homophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish she would have said something like, we are each other's boyfriends or something.
Yeah, but it's because they were still fighting.
I know.
We know their end game, right? Like, they're going to be together.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be together, but it seems like it. The sheriff's office then gets a call from the hospital saying, like, there's people dead here. So he, like, goes to deal with that. And when the sheriff's deputy is the only one there, he's going to, like, walk them out. And Dina, like, attacks him. And then she's like, oops, sorry. I don't know what came over me. But she did it so she could steal his gun, like, distract him. So she stole his gun. So that was really smart. And then we see, like, I guess kind of while this is happening, Simon is outside and he sees a girl by herself, like, singing. And he's like, she's very hot. So he, like, goes up to talk to her and he's like, are you okay? And she slashes his leg with, like, a knife. And then she, like, jumps on him and is trying to, like, kill him. And then Dina shoots her in the head.
Yeah. Maybe just a reminder that men shouldn't just go talk to women just because.
Yeah. So Ruby was trying to kill Sam, and then Dina came out with the stolen gun, shot her. And so we're like, okay, cool. Now that woman that was trying to kill Simon is dead. But like, no, she's not, because she can get back up, because this is when we realize, if we didn't already realize from Ryan still being sort of alive and killing more people, even though we saw him get shot. Like, they're like undead. Yeah. They're like kind of zombie, but not. So we're like, oh fuck, there's more. There's more of them. And they're like,
so Sam is actually the one that recognizes the girl as being Ruby Lane. Simon didn't know who she was yet.
No,
and then when they shot her,
I talked to her because she was hot.
Right, exactly. And so then Sam recognized her and was like, oh, that's Ruby Lane. And then Josh came over and was like, she was,
she killed a bunch of people in 1965 and killed herself. So she's one of the people that is on his board of like all of the stuff that's happened in Shadyside that is like fucked up.
Yeah.
And part of his theory. So it's like, whoa, that's weird. And then sorry, Josh also is talking about how in 1978 there was like a mass killer at a camp that killed a bunch of kids. That's called the Nightwing Killer. And then he also is like, it all goes back to 1666 when there was this pastor that went off the deep end and killed kids and cut out their eyes. Yeah. So he's like kind of giving a backstory. And while this is happening, Dina and Sam are kind of in the other room, like on the kitchen floor, having this cute bonding moment. They obviously still love each other, but they are not saying that. Then Sam and Dina come back into that conversation Josh is having where he's telling everybody, and Sam is like, oh my God, I didn't tell you guys, but like when the accident happened, I had a vision of Sarah Fear, this witch that you're talking about. And so they're like, oh, we should go back to the woods and crash site and like recreate what happened and see if we can like get more information.
Well, yeah, because she was talking about how, Josh was explaining to them the whole Sarah Fear lore, talking about how she possesses people because she wants revenge for what was done to her in the past. And so Simon is like, well, can we just try to make it better? Can we go back and like undisturb that area if we can?
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part, because that's the same thing I would do. I'd be like, oh, she's mad that we disturbed her grave, so let's just put everything back. Yeah. We'll undisturb it and then she'll be fine.
That'll work.
That doesn't work. That's why there's a total of 3 movies.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. So yeah, so they go back thinking like maybe we can like fix this. And they do find in that same area where she had the vision, they find chains in the ground connected to a skull. And so we confirm that that is Sarah Fear's grave because on the remains there's also a lock and it says Fear. And Fear is spelled F-I-E-R. So yeah, that's how we know. For sure. And so they're trying to undisturb it. That does not work. And so basically what they figure out, Sam's nose starts bleeding again and she touches the bones and she has more visions. So it's like, okay, the blood has something to do with this. And whoa. Okay, so that happens. Then the killer, the Nightwing Killer, the one that is like the masked killer from the camp that they mentioned, like comes out of the woods and like starts running towards Sam. And then they get away, they go in the ambulance and they realize, she just wants Sam, basically. Yeah. Because the killer ran right past everybody else just towards Sam. So it's like Sam and it's the blood.
It was shortly after her nose started bleeding. And then also it just kind of went to back Josh's theory that these are all Sarah Fear's henchmen that she sent out to avenge her.
Yes. And so basically they realize that if they want to get all of the henchmen and fix everything, they need to use Sam as bait. Yeah. And I'm like, what good friends. That's so nice of them. They're all risking their lives. I don't know. There are parts of this where I'm like, I would just let her have her. what the fuck? Anyway, so then we see that the sheriff saw what happened at the hospital. We also see that when he got back to where Ruby Lane had been, he sees like black blood on the street and a locket. So he's like, something's happening.
Yeah.
And then we see all the kids at the school. So they decided to go back to school, and that's where they're going to like bait the bad guys to come.
Yeah, they needed to go find a change of clean clothes because they were all in like bloody, dirty clothes.
Oh, that's why they were not wearing shirts?
At the school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were when they went to go change their uppets.
Oh yeah. I was like, Dina and Sam are alone in a room, and Dina has no shirt on. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then Sam also has no shirt on. There's sexual tension. And Dina is like, let me help you dress your wound on your shoulder. And I'm like, they're gonna fuck. And then we see Simon in the bathroom, and he is like taking a hobo bath. And then
what does that mean?
What? Oh, is that offensive?
Just tell us what it means.
He's just like not taking like a real shower. He's just like cleaning his little armpits and his like butt and private areas. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's cleaning his butt. I assume he is, but we talked about how a lot of straight men don't clean their butt. So I don't know. But anyway, he eventually is very turned on and is like masturbating while looking at himself in the mirror. So that's fun.
They allude to it. They don't show that.
Well, yeah, they do tell us. But anyway, then in another bathroom, Josh and Kate are in there. And by the way, they've kind of shown us that Josh has a crush on Kate. But anyway, she's like in a stall, and then she's like, can you help me with something? Can you come in here? And it's like, oh. And then I think they show them kiss.
It was like a peck.
Yeah, but it's like, oh my God. And then anyway, we go back to Sam and Dina in the classroom that they're in. And Sam is like, yeah, you're right. Like, I did run away from our relationship because I was scared. But tonight is the first night in a long time that I felt like myself. And then she pulls her in by her belt loops. It was so sexual. And then they're making out. And I was like, someone's going to get finger blasted.
I just want to preface this. She doesn't usually talk like this. Can you explain why you said it like that?
Okay. I saw a TikTok, and it was like, tell me about your worst lesbian date. And the girl was saying like that she went out with this girl, and she got the girl she went on the date with was like masked, and that girl got super hammered and then was like being really like sexually like aggressive with her, and she's like, no, like I'm not into it. And she's like, come on, I just really want to finger blast you. Like, can you let me finger blast you? There's a bathroom over there. So anyway, I thought that was really funny. Yeah. And now I keep saying finger blast. So yeah. Anyway, then they hear a sound, and I was like, cock block. But then I'm confused because I think something did happen, because when they go out into the hallway, Simon's like, did you guys go to Pound Town? Me too. And so that's when we know that he was masturbating in the bathroom. Yeah. And then Josh and Kate also come out, and he's like, you also went to Pound Town? And Kate is like, it was barely first base. So I'm like, okay, so they like made out, and I don't know exactly what Dina and Sam did, but I think that they finger blasted each other.
They kind of showed a little bit of what they did. I think maybe you just forgot about it because you were thinking about finger blasting.
I guess. I don't know. So anyway, they set up this trap with Sam's blood. So they like kind of like cut her, and then they put the blood in like the mop bucket, and then they're like, we're gonna like mop all over with blood so it'll like draw in the killers. And then they hide Sam in the bathroom, and they put so much bleach in that bathroom so that they like hopefully can't smell her actual blood. And so it works. All the killers start coming in, and they trap the killers in the bathroom, and Sam's able to get out of that bathroom, and they're like, nice, okay, let's set this bathroom on fire. So they set the bathroom on fire, and they're like listening outside, and they hear them like dying. And then they go in and they put the fire out with fire extinguishers, which I think was really nice of them, because I think in my mind I was like, they should just let the whole school burn, like just to be safe.
Yeah, they're like really nice, like respectful
teenagers.
Yeah, they borrowed the ambulance. They're gonna give it back at the end, obviously.
This is like one time we accidentally stole a U-Haul, which is like the most lesbian thing.
We didn't steal it. We paid for it.
Yeah, we paid for it, but then the place was closed on the day we were supposed to pick it up, and then you found keys like by the door. They had this this little hanging thing. You reach your hand in and there were keys. And she's like, they left the keys for us.
I was like, how polite and so like, what great customer service. Yeah. Obviously, these are for us.
Yeah, so we just took the U-Haul that the keys worked for and we started moving our stuff. And then the next day, the owner was like, did you happen to somehow get the U-Haul yesterday? And I was like, yeah, you left the keys for us. And he's like, that's for people to turn in keys. You're not supposed to reach your hand in there and take keys out. And I was like, well, why did it have little hooks? Okay. Because anyway, he was like, I was about to call the cops. I thought someone stole it, but I thought I'd check with you first. So anyway, we did pay for it. But it was like the issue of we ordered it online or whatever. We reserved it online. And then the local one wasn't open on Sundays, but they didn't call and cancel it. So anyway, so just a funny story. We didn't really steal it and we brought it back, but it's just very lesbian that it was a U-Haul. And so anyway, they go and they extinguish the fire, which is nice of them. Obviously, this is not how you kill the undead. I don't really watch.
They didn't know that yet.
Well, they should. Josh should know. He's a nerd. He knows all kinds of things. But this doesn't work. All the bodies start reforming. So like, fuck. This was such a cool plan, and it didn't work. Yeah. And so they're like, God damn. And then they all run and hide in a classroom, and Kate is like, you guys, we just need to let Sam die. Like, they only want Sam. Yeah. And let's just let her die. Sacrifice her. I'm not trying to die for this bitch. And I agree. That's what I was saying earlier. So they pull Sam back into the room because they realize that there's a survivor from the 70s camp killing thing. And the survivor is named C. Berman. And we will find out more about C. Berman maybe in another episode. But they are like, okay, we gotta call this person and find out how did they survive. Yeah. And so they find the number in like the white pages. They call from the classroom phone and they leave a message because the person doesn't answer. And they're like, we really need your help. We found out that you survived, blah, blah, blah. And while this is happening, Sam or Dina, one of them, realized that the only way that C. Berman lived is because she died. So basically, she died and then was brought back to life by like the rescuers or whatever. Right. So they're like, oh, this is like the loophole, sort of. Anyway, as this is happening, the Nightwing Killer is like hitting the door with an axe trying to get in. And so at some point he does get in and then they run away. They get away and they go in the ambulance and they go to the grocery store where Simon works. Also, they do this short little scene to show us the sheriff and what he's doing. The sheriff goes to a house. We don't know this house. And instead of knocking, he just leaves a note and like puts it under the door. And the note says, it's happening again. So I feel like now we're like, okay, the sheriff knows some stuff. Yeah. Which I feel like we already kind of knew because they said the family has like a long history, blah, blah, blah. And also 1978 to 1994 was not that long of a time. So he would have been alive. Yeah. And so anyway, then we see all the teenage arrows at the grocery store. They're getting a bunch of drugs from the pharmacy so that Sam can take them and purposely OD, and then they can bring her back. And they have like a very specific like order and amount of drugs because I think Simon's brother had OD'd at some point, and then he like ended up living. He got brought back. So they're like, we're going to have you take the exact drugs that my brother took. And so that is the plan. And then that they are going to like lure the killers there and distract them by putting Sam's blood on themselves while Sam is dying. Yeah. And then being brought back. And so basically then Sam and Dina are like crying and confessing their love to each other. And Dina is like, when this is over, I'm going to take you on a date. Which is really sweet, but it's also like, I have to help you die first. And so, also I wrote this, I love the dark, creepy grocery store vibe. And I really want to do a photo shoot of like myself and maybe my baby, if she'll be in it, or maybe me and Angelina for like a promo things for the podcast. I just want to do a dark, creepy grocery store photo shoot, but I don't know anyone that like would let me be in a grocery store at night. So maybe we could ask. I think that the local grocery outlet owner might be queer. So maybe I should ask, hey, can we come in after dark and do a photo shoot? I don't know. I think it would be really cool. So then we see that like Kate and Simon and Josh, I think that's all of them, are walking around with like blood on them, walking around like pretending to shop or whatever.
Well, they're all in different areas. Like Simon and Josh were gonna go by the exits.
Yeah.
And then Kate was walking around the other aisles because she was picking up supplies for the trap that she was going to set or whatever.
Okay. And so the killers, I think they do start coming in. It works. And the skull mask killer comes at Sam and Dina at some point, and Sam is not dead. She is struggling really hard to take the pills.
Well, she's also having to take the pills like with no water. And the pills are huge. She's like putting these in like her throat. It's dry. It's gross.
Well, you know, you think it's weird that I take pills without water all the time.
Yes, I do.
So maybe other people do it. I mean, my grandma did it. That's why I started doing it. My grandma, the crazy diet pill grandma, she would have like a tackle box of pills, and some of them were vitamins, and then a lot of them were like fat blocker, starch blocker, like all these things she would take before you eat. I don't even know if those work, but like she would just take them dry. So anyway, I thought that was normal, so I do it. So maybe they thought it was normal too. Anyway, so she then like is like throwing up. She throws up some of the pills, and it's like, oh my God, this isn't gonna fucking work if you throw up. You have to ingest all of them. They need to be in your body.
And she was starting to feel like drowsy. You could see that her body.
But then she's feeling sick, so she throws up. Like, and so this is like happening, and then the skull mask killer comes at them, but Kate sees it and distracts him with fire and hairspray.
Yes.
And then Kate runs and hides, but the guy finds her. And while this is happening, Dina is like realizing that the pills thing is not going to work. And so they see like that there's this poor little lobster in a tank, and they're like, we have to drown you. Like, I'm gonna drown you. Which is like crazy and intense. Like, she's doing it because she loves her, but it's also like, I can't imagine like putting you in a tank so you like die this terrible death of drowning, you know, but it's like, it's to save you.
Right, but it also shows like how much Sam trusts Dina, because she's letting her do all of these things just to her. Me. I'm like, I love you, but I don't think I would let you drown me.
That's rude. What if you needed it? If this was happening, well, it's not going to happen.
No.
Oh my God, watch it happen now.
Anyway.
Also, the curse happened, and Sarah Fear came back. Whatever. Anyway, so Simon hears Kate scream, and he goes to try to help her, and then Ruby tries to kill him, but he gets away. So basically everyone's getting attacked. Nightwing comes after Josh. Yeah. And the skull killer stabs Kate, but she keeps fighting. She's a fucking badass bitch.
She was putting up a fight.
What?
She was putting up a good fight.
Yeah, but then she gets her head put through a bread slicer thing. It's really fucked up.
It was really gory.
It was like the most violent, gory
I
death.
would say yes.
Yeah.
And it was really sad because she was a likable character.
I know. And so then Josh sees her like lifeless bread sliced body and is really sad. And then Simon sees her and he's looking at her, and then as he's doing that, Nightwing hits him with the axe in the head, and then he dies. And while this is happening, Dina is still struggling to get Sam to die, because I feel like drowning takes like a while, and she's like trying to get her to die, and she's taking forever, like what the fuck. And then Josh is like running towards Dina and Sam, and he trips, and it's like, this always fucking happens in movies, but I also shouldn't judge it because I fall a lot.
Yeah,
so
you do.
I definitely would fall.
Yes, you would.
And then we see Sam have another vision, and then she dies. And then when she dies, the Nightwing killer, like the killers disappear. So like Josh is okay, because it's like they got what they wanted, or, you know, what they were sent to do, make her die. And so Josh is like, goes up to Dina, and Dina's like, oh my God, go get the EpiPens right now. That's their way to bring her back, is to like stab her with EpiPens.
Yes.
it's smart that they know this because I didn't know anything about that. But I was thinking of that movie with Uma Thurman, Maya Hawke's mom.
Pulp Fiction.
There's the thing with the adrenaline thing.
Yes.
Is that similar vibe of the EpiPens?
Yeah, she was ODing.
Okay. So, anyway, so they're like stabbing her with EpiPens to bring her back, and it's not working. And then she starts trying CPR, and then she does come back to life. She starts throwing up a lot, and she comes back, and we're like, oh my God, it worked. Yay. Except sad for everybody that died. But still, like, yay, it worked. Okay, so then we see the remaining kids giving their statements about what happened to the sheriff. So it's like, okay, everything's done. They all say that they hid and they were okay. And the sheriff is like, well, we're going to blame Simon and Kate, basically. Like, these junkies went crazy. More tweakers from Sunnyside or whatever they said.
From Shadyside.
Oh, yeah.
There aren't any tweakers over there.
No, Sunnyvale doesn't have that.
No.
Okay, so Shadyside. And Josh, while they're there, the janitor guy is still there, like, with handcuffed. And so Josh helps him pick a lock to his handcuffs. So now they're, like, kind of like friends. Like, he owes him a favor, you know?
Yeah, he did him a solid.
And then Sam's homophobic mom picks her up, and Sam tells Dina in front of the homophobic mom, like, I'll see you later tonight.
Good.
And then they kiss, which is really cute, but also I don't know if this is just like us being prudes, but my parents have never seen me kiss someone. I feel like that's awkward.
My parents haven't seen me. I think they've seen me kiss your forehead.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems so awkward to me. Maybe, probably when I was drunk in New Orleans, my dad saw us kiss, but I don't think, like, I don't know. I remember a random lady kissing me in New Orleans that time.
Yeah, that was weird.
My dad saw that, and he's like, that was weird.
She kissed you without consent, which I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, but it was like a peck. It was like my birthday, and people were singing me happy birthday at the absinthe bar. Yeah. And then this older lady came up and was like, happy birthday, and kissed me.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, that was weird.
Because it was.
Like, that was weird. And I thought you were going to be mad, but you were like, what?
I think if it was a man, I would have been like,
yeah,
I'm going to punch you in the face.
I think
right
she
now.
maybe was European. We were like, maybe that's in her culture. Saying happy birthday and you kiss them.
Yeah, she gets a pass because she was a woman.
Yeah. Anyway, then we go to Dina's house. We see she gives Sam a mixtape and a note that says, I still love you. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And I think they're like laying in bed together being sweet.
Yeah.
And then the phone rings and it's C. Berman. And she's like, you called me, so I'm calling you back. Did you touch the bones? Did you see her face? And Dina's like, no, it's okay. It's over. Like, we fixed it.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's never over. She will never stop. You can't stop her. She makes the rules. And then they cut to this weird cave room with all the names of the possessed people like scratched into the wall of the cave. And we see that Samantha Fraser was just added. And so I guess it's not over. And then Dina is like still kind of thinking it's fine, but then I think she like turns around and Sam is looking at her all weird, standing there looking weird, and then Sam stops her.
She looks undead. There were
like,
flies flying around her head.
They have this thing where when the undead people are around, there's like flies around them. So she stabs Dina and then they're fighting. And Josh, meanwhile, is like downstairs in the basement with his music playing on the chat room. He's defending Kate and Simon, which is nice. He's like, they weren't junkies. They were good people and da-da-da-da-da. And he doesn't know that his sister is fighting for her life upstairs. No, he's like clueless. Completely oblivious. And then at some point, Dina comes down and comes to get him. And she's like, you need to see this, basically. They go back up the stairs. We see that Sam is alive, but she's definitely possessed. Dina wrapped her like up in the telephone cord. So she tied her up with the phone cord, but she's like making crazy noises. Like she's totally possessed. Like that. Yeah. And she's like she's moving her body weird. I don't know.
That was so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm an actress. And so that happened. And they're like, oh, fuck. And then Dina's like, we have to get her back because she's obsessed with her. She's like, this is my love. I literally killed you for yourself and brought you back to life.
Love.
I know.
She loves her unconditionally, even if she's possessed.
Even if she's a
stabbed
demon.
her, literally was like, ooh.
She's like, it wasn't her.
No.
So that's kind of how it ends. She says, I'm going to get you back, like, to Sam. And then it goes, to be continued. And then it shows a little preview of the next movie.
Yes.
And the next movie is Fear Street Part 2, 1978. So we are going to go to that summer camp that they mentioned in the next movie. So yeah, how did you feel about it?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was great. I loved all the
they did a good
90s
job with
music.
the 90s music.
I thought that was really, really great. And the acting was great. So
yeah. Okay. So here is the moment that you've all been waiting for. Obviously, these are grown up and alive versions of these people.
Yes.
I couldn't find 3 women that didn't. One of them had to die to make this.
Yes.
So obviously we're pretending she didn't die. So this is our version of Fuck, Marry, Kill, Munch, Merge, Murder. So the options are Sam, Dina, and alive Kate, not bread sliced Kate.
Good.
What would you choose?
You know, I thought I had this like ready to go. I'm going to change it last minute because the more that we kept talking about this person and her drive, her entrepreneurial spirit, you know what? I'm going to merge with Kate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to munch Sam.
Sarah?
Sarah?
Sarah's not until a different
Who's
movie.
Sarah?
Sarah Fear the Witch.
Okay. Anyway, is she not an option?
No, I didn't make her an option because she's like only in visions.
I know. I misspoke.
Sorry, you're like, I like the witch from the 1600s.
Yes, obviously. Pale, beautiful. Anyway,
Yeah.
I am munching Sam.
Okay.
And I'm murdering Dina.
What?
She broke Sam's heart. She broke up with her. She's the one who broke up with Sam.
Because Sam was being a hoity-toity bitch.
She had to move away. Her parents got divorced.
Okay, whatever.
It's
I
not her
don't
fault.
agree with you. And that's fine. We're not going to have a sister wife anyway. And it's not going to be one of them because they're not even real people.
All right.
But that's not what I would do.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I would merge with Dina because I think she's really beautiful. And she also played a lesbian in another show called Trinkets.
Oh, yes.
That I made you watch. It wasn't that good, but I liked her from that.
It was okay.
And also, in real life, she's straight, which is kind of sad. She's
an ally,
she
though.
gives gay vibes. I know. But yeah, I went and like followed her on Instagram once because I was like, she's so pretty. I'm going to follow her. And then her thing was like Bible quotes and talking about her husband. And I was like, not a fan. But anyway, character Dina, yes.
Yeah.
So I would merge with Dina. I would munch alive Kate. And I would kill Sam because like I said, they should just give up on her already. That's mean, but I don't like her that much.
I'm agreeing to disagree.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. So what would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5 cherries, baby?
I was going to give it a 5, but I'm really hung up on the details, the 90s details. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. But overall, I really did enjoy the movie.
Okay.
What about you?
I say 5 out of 5. I love it. I love it because it's like, well, because it's gay, but also it's like a scary movie, like a slasher type of thing. It has the right amount of supernatural stuff. Because sometimes things are too supernatural and I don't like them.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect kind of horror movie for me because like I don't like horror movies that have aliens in them. And there's no aliens, so that's great. And I like that they have like these different storylines, and they're like weaving them all together.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we're doing the 90s. I like that time period, so I love it. I thought it was so good,
and it did a good job of blending the horror and gore with a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, like when Simon was, they're like, "Why did you go talk to Ruby Lane?" And he's like, "She was hot."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. No, there were like funny parts. I thought it did so good. I think this is like severely underrated because I never hear people talk about it. But anyway, we're going to take a little breaky and then we'll come back for a special segment. So if you're enjoying But I'm a Lesbian, please head over to our Instagram, TikTok, our Lemon 8 that we have now that I'm trying to figure out how to use, our Blue Sky that I'm also trying to figure out. But follow us on any of the things that you use. We will post our hot takes on things. I love to post that. We also are posting our OOTDs. We're doing lots of fun behind the scenes type of footage and also like get to know our pets. So you see the pets of the pod. Yeah, just follow us on all the platforms that you can, girl or guy, whoever you are. We will be back in a very, very short amount of time. Okay, welcome back and get ready for our special segment, Get to Know Our Guest. So I'm going to ask you some questions and then you're going to answer them.
Okay.
Okay, you
I'll
ready?
try my best.
Okay, so what is the most recent song you listened to or the last book you read? You can choose whichever.
Okay. We'll go with the song because I am a creature of habit. And if I like a song, I'm going to just listen to it for like weeks, months, until I'm sick of it, which is hardly ever. Right now, it's probably between The Beaches, Jocelyn or Lesbian of the Year, obviously. Yeah. And then Everybody Scream by Florence and the Machine. They have a new album coming out on October 31st.
It's so good.
That song, I cannot stop listening to it. It's really good.
Okay, and I love it now because you were like, Florence has a new song. Mm-hmm. And then we watched the video, and the video was weird, but I did enjoy it. And the song is always stuck in my head. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and I love the Lesbian of the Year song, and I love the Jocelyn song. I love all of them. Okay, anyway, good choices.
Thanks.
What's a comfort movie you put on when you need a little bit of joy?
I would say if I'm trying to like laugh or just put something on that makes me feel happy, probably like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yeah.
Or She's the Man.
Oh, yeah.
That one's like top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
And then I would say those are the top 2 right now.
Oh, you're like top 3, but I'm not going to tell you the third one. It's a secret.
That's a surprise. For another time.
What's your favorite podcast besides this one, obviously?
Yeah, obviously this is my favorite. This is all
it's the best. You get to listen to your wife even when you're like at work or whatever and you like miss my voice.
Yeah, but when I'm not listening to But I'm a Lesbian, I like to watch podcasts on YouTube, so hence why we do a video one as well.
Which gave her more work because she edits the videos.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I was doing it. Anyway, I listen to and watch Trixie and Katya's Bald and the Beautiful. And then I just started listening to Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
Yeah, she's
and
so
then
funny.
Kiki Palmer's podcast as well.
Yes.
I love Kiki. She's so funny.
She is so funny. Who was your cartoon crush growing up?
I would have to say... I'm going to say Jasmine and Aladdin, but I also kind of similar with the Mummy. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be with Aladdin or if I wanted to be Aladdin because he got to kiss Jasmine. So that's why I just say Jasmine and Aladdin.
Confusing.
And then you have a story about Jasmine.
I was like, I was your cartoon crush? No. No, I was Jasmine when I was like 4 or 5 for Halloween. I really wanted to be her.
Yeah.
And I made my mom get me like a long black wig to wear. And I just remember I thought she was the most beautiful. I was a little sad because you know how like Jasmine, her hair is in those like, it's like a little like ponytail type of thing with like multiple tail holders, and then at the end it has this cute little like curl. I didn't know that because I was 5. I didn't know that you couldn't like curl a cheap synthetic wig, and I was like begging my mom to curl it, and she's like, "We can't. It will literally melt."
I was gonna say she probably tried to talk you out of it.
Yeah,
and you were
so
like,
I just
no.
remember being kind of sad because I was like, this kind of ruined like my outfit. No one's gonna know I'm Jasmine because I don't have this perfect little curl at the end of my black wig.
Yeah.
Anywho, if you could greenlight one new lesbian rom-com tomorrow, who would you cast as the 2 leads?
Oh, this is gonna be really hard. Okay, I know.
You know?
Yes,
Okay.
it's not a hard question.
Oh,
I've thought about this before.
You're so good at acting, baby. I was like, oh, it is hard. I'll give you more time.
Okay,
who is it?
I would say Evan Rachel Wood
Oh, your favorite.
and Alexander Breckenridge.
You know what? They kind of look alike. I mean, it makes sense because you have a type.
I would agree. I would disagree, actually. I don't think they look alike. I think that they have like specific distinctual traits.
Yeah. I guess they both are in the same genre.
They're both white.
Yeah. I was like, they're like the same age range. They're both white and kind of
pale,
blondish features and like light eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
But that's okay, so that's one.
Okay, what's the other one?
If I had to go a little older,
okay.
I would say Amanda Peet and Hannah Waddingham.
Oh, yeah, your favorite from
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, the one I think I talked about you having a crush on her, and I was like, she would climb her like a tree because she's like this tall blonde woman.
I didn't say that, you did.
I did. I said that about you.
I didn't say that. I'm going to be respectful.
I didn't mean it in a sexual way. I mean, why are you climbing? I don't know.
I don't either.
Have you seen all those people that are like shipping Jenna Ortega and her co-star, the really tall woman from, I mean,
Wednesday?
Yeah. They maybe would be cute together, but there is a really big age difference because Jenna Ortega is really, really young.
Yeah.
Anywho, okay, so I'm going to tell you if I were going to make one.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that Kate Menig would be in it.
I already knew that, yeah.
Obviously.
I was going to say Kate and Tig.
Okay, so here's my thing. I would make it a mask for mask because we never see this, and I think it's hot. So it would be Kate Menig playing a Shane type of like character, so like a more mask-ish. And then, I would maybe put Tig Notaro, hot Tig, or if I don't usually do an age gap thing, but I am very attracted to Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding. She was like the big muscular one, but in real life she is not so feminine like her character was. So more mask version. I like her muscles.
Was she feminine in the movie?
Yes. Remember how femme she was?
No.
In Love Lies Bleeding?
I thought she was still kind of butch.
No, she wore so much makeup. She was always wearing like these little bikini tops. And I think that it was, I feel like Lou was like more like the like little, she was like a cute little pocket mask or whatever. Like she was like so tiny compared to her.
She also, Kristen Stewart, she was also like working out a lot for this movie.
Yes, but she was still tiny in comparison because
I just thought it was funny.
Think Kristen Stewart is like my height, so she's not like tall, but she's not short, but she's really like skinny. She's so small. And then Katie O'Brien, I think, is like pretty tall, and then she was also so buff. So it's like she still looked tiny, even though she was like trying to work out.
Yeah.
Anywho, okay. Next, what is the best piece of advice anyone has ever given you?
I would have to say the best piece of advice. I received this from a coworker, I want to say last year when we first lost our cat Boo Boo. I was feeling really guilty about having like just gotten Sailor, our puppy, and I thought that it wasn't fair to Boo Boo that I was giving this much attention and love to Sailor. And I was telling her how I felt, and she said, it's okay. Like, you have like so much love to give. You can give all this love to a different pet. You could still honor your other pet that you lost by doing that. You have I think you said
it's like love is not a finite resource.
Right.
Like you have this huge abundance of love to give.
Yeah.
And I can see, because I felt that way too at times,
Mhm.
like, oh, is this doing a disservice to Boo Boo because we're mourning him, but then we are also like experiencing joy and sharing love
Yeah.
and raising this puppy. But it is like, that doesn't take away from your love for Boo Boo.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think ever since I always think about that whenever, I guess recently also because we lost Snape. So I just think about
Right.
like he made me a better like cat parent. So I feel like
know.
he taught me so many things, and I feel like I
Yeah.
have him to thank for that. So I still have to keep in mind that I can also give that same love to another
Yeah.
pet. So
That
Yeah.
was something really smart that she said, and I think about it too
Yeah.
sometimes because you told me that she said that.
yeah.
Okay, so much less serious, but it could be serious depending. Do you put ketchup on your fries or do you put it on the side?
I put it on my fries.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird.
Because I'm trying to eat my fries. I'm not going to take an extra step by putting the ketchup on the side, grabbing my fry, dipping it in the ketchup, and then in my mouth. If the ketchup is already on the fry, all I have to do is grab the fry with the ketchup and put it in my mouth. It's more efficient.
That does make sense. I just love sauce. So like I
know
put
you
so
do.
much sauce and then
Yes.
What did they said on what did they said? What character was the character on Only Murders in the Building, Martin Short's character?
Mhm.
He was
Oliver.
like, yes, he's like he had shrimp cocktail and he's like, the shrimp is just a vehicle for the sauce or
Yes.
whatever. That's how I feel about all sauces.
Yes.
I'm like, I need something to dip in buffalo sauce. So I got to make something because I just
Mhm.
really want the sauce.
Yep.
Anywho, thank you so much for answering all of our questions, all of my questions, and for coming on. Thank you to everyone that has been listening or watching. Thanks for tuning in to But I'm a Lesbian. We are your go-to for sapphic media reviews, WLW drama, and unfiltered queer takes. If you enjoyed this show, please like, share, and subscribe on any platforms that you use. We are on YouTube if you want to watch the video, and then you can listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and then we have all the social media. Leave us a review if you want to help support the queer community and keep our lesbian-led pod thriving. After all, the algorithm's a bitch, and we're just two lesbians with mics out here trying to survive. And don't miss next week's episode. We will be continuing in this trilogy with Fear Street Part 2, 1978, which is also available on Netflix. And we're going to have another very special guest host, our producer / mixer extraordinaire, Victoria. So we will
See you next
Tuesday. Executive producers for But I'm a Lesbian are Caitlin Beatty and Angelina Herrera. Produced and mixed by Victoria Shiflett. Creative direction and video editing provided by Juanita Iriarte. Music by Stiletto Falsetto.